Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Unity Live video. I'm Whitney Magnuson, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. I am just having some fun with our newest arrivals. We have some amazing new arrivals that just dropped, I think, last Tuesday. And so I'm just playing with them today, and I kind of got on this kick of using my sentiment to ground images, and it's just super simple stuff, and I just want you guys to see these amazing stamp sets in action, and maybe you will pick up a few tips and tricks along the way. But if you have not checked out the new arrivals, highly recommend it. We have added to our Winnie the Pooh collection. We now have Eeyore. The sentiment kit this month is Chef's Kiss.
You should tell which one's releasing soon, what we just sent on.
Oh, yes.
Or should we keep it suspenseful?
Well, just so you guys, I'll give you guys like a little sneak peek of what we're working on. So this morning, Nick and I worked on a map of 100 Acre Wood. It's going to be a full A2 background stamp, so stay tuned for that. We just sent it off to be made into a plate, and once it gets to us, we're going to play around with it, and it will be for a future release. But we are going to do tons of these Winnie the Pooh E.H. Shepherd style illustrations now that they're public market, and you guys are all loving them. I'm loving them. And just a lot of fun. And we did release two new huge sunflower stamp sets, and those are in honor of the people of Ukraine. So we are doing 5% of all of our sales from last Tuesday all the way through tonight. It's going to go to charity for the people of Ukraine. And we have a Digi where 100% of sales from that Digi stamp are going there. We have a little itty bitty where $5, we're going to give 100% of that to Ukraine, and you get a little itty bitty sunflower stamp. So lots of fun happening, and it's just awesome that together the crafty community can come together and do some more good. So thank you guys that have already ordered and continue to support us and help us to give. All right, let's go down to Project Cam, and I'm going to share with you the cards. Hi, Faylene. Okay, so she just put in her order this morning. We have Jessie here, Allison, my grandma's here. Awesome. Yeah, it's a very kind of springy day today in Minnesota as well. I have a little senior doxy, and I've been waiting for it to get nice out. You know, with wiener dogs, the temperatures and the weather has to be like optimal. Like, it cannot be wet, it can't be cold, it can't be too hot. And so we're just waiting for the day where it's acceptable for him to go on a walk. All right, so these are the two cards that I am going to do today. I'm loving the craft and white theme. I think it's just really easy. A lot of you probably already have craft cardstock and white cardstock in your collection. If not, we do sell it. This is the perfect craft color. It's my favorite. And I'm just really loving using sentiments to kind of ground the image rather than doing like shading and coloring, because that's not my strong suit. And so I just wanted something really easy and fun. So let's start with this cute little Eeyore card because I'm absolutely obsessed. This is featuring our brand new sentiment kit, and if you haven't seen Unity sentiment kits, they are a huge stamp set. Like, look at this. I have some out already, the ones that I'm going to be using, but it's a huge stamp set, and this one actually comes with 16 stamps. So like, you get this huge Eeyore, a little butterfly, and then 14 other sentiments that kind of pair with it. And these are great to mix and match with like your existing collections. So, you know, you might have an image where one of these sentiments is going to be absolutely perfect for it, or vice versa. Just great to mix and match. And who does not love sweet little Eeyore? This was the bestseller this past week, and I can totally see why. It's just so sweet. All right, so I am grabbing this one, An Ungloomy Day, and of course, I'm going to be grabbing one of my all-time favorite background stamps. Oh, I forgot to see if this is on sale. If it's not, I'm going to mark it on sale. But it's called Small Details, and it is a full A2 sized background. And it just has like tiny little words on there, and so some of the words, they're just like little phrases like love, adventure, family, you know, just cute little words to kind of add like a pattern and a texture. So we're going to do that. And this cute little die cut I am using, it is ours, it is back in stock, Few people have snagged it while it's been back in stock, but here it is. They're nesting dies. You get 4 different sizes, so they all kind of work together. And I love this for mixing the craft and the white too. I think it's so darling. All right, so for this one, I have a white A2 card base. I have a piece of craft cardstock that I die cut with our little stitched scallops and rectangles die. And then for our stamp panel, this is going to go right on there. This is just white cardstock. So we're going to start out by stamping our background stamp on our white panel. I'm going to grab my mini Misty. But we are all hands on deck right now, getting it all made. It's going to go super duper quick now. You guys, you wouldn't think that like trucking shortages and stuff would affect like a little small town stamp company, but it's real and it does. It's been just crazy to get something from Chicago to, central Minnesota, which isn't that far. So bear with us. We are back on track.
I know I was so tempted to just hop in our car and go grab a half a carload of stuff.
Yeah, right. All right, so this is Small Details, and I'm using just kind of a light colored ink. This is called Barely Beige. It's by Simon Says Stamp. And we are just going to ink this up on there. So just make sure that if you're going to stamp your background first, I'm going to be going in and doing Copic coloring, so just make sure that your ink is Copic friendly, whatever it is. This is going to be just fine. I did try it out. All right. And this is a very light ink, so I usually do like a couple different times, but I don't have an ink that's like close to this color, so I just kind of stamp it up until I like the color pigmentation. Perfect. How cute is that? I love it so much. All right, now we're gonna grab Eeyore from An Ungloomy Day. And I have all the stamps I'm gonna be using on this little block, so I don't have to dig them out. All right, so I think we're gonna do something like here. I want a little bit of space where I know we're gonna put like a little flag for our sentiment. Perfect. And then again, I'm gonna be doing Copic coloring, so just making sure that I have Copic friendly ink. This is Ink on 3 hybrid ink, so it is watercolor friendly, it's alcohol marker friendly, Gamsol. It's great to have an ink like this in your collection.
The boys were outside.
What?
Yes.
All the boys?
Brad and Dougie.
That's crazy. How did you know that?
I heard them bark through the window. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I had to bust on.
All right, we're just gonna stamp this down, and I love how the background stamp does kind of pop out behind the Eeyore. With all of our Copic blending and stuff, you won't see it as much, but it's still a fun effect. You could always stamp your background after coloring if you wanted like a more prominent text look over the top. All right, how cute is that, you guys? We're gonna grab that little butterfly and add a couple extra because I like 3s, so that's what we're gonna do. Darling. All right, I hope you guys are having a great week. It is going by fast over here, but it has been good. The weather's getting warmer, really cannot complain. All right, so there is that. I'm just gonna set this aside and just let it kind of rest for a second while we stamp out our sentiment.
Ooh, Faylene got her Whit kit this past Friday and loves it.
Woohoo! I'm so happy that you are loving it. Nick and Angela and I were just talking today about how I always have intentions to go live with that membership kit because it's one of the only stamp sets that I curate here at Unity. But because we're a small business and we all, have so many different roles, it's really hard for me to get away and focus on live videos all the time. So we were just kind of brainstorming, how can we go live and, make it more of a habit? Because these are awesome sets and we want you guys to see them and be inspired by them. So stay tuned. I am going to make a conscious effort there to try to do that more often. All right, so there is thank you. This is from the Ungloomy Day Sentiment Kit. And this is just like a little banner die that I had. You can cut your own banner too. All right, so now for coloring. So I'm going to go real simple on Eeyore. I have BV02 and BV04. And I'm going kind of like a lavender style Eeyore. So I'm going to start with my darker color. And I'm just going to kind of add shading in the darker areas, like where I feel like he would be darkest. And kind of flick up. And I'm going to try my best to stay in the lines too.
Our son Everett's getting so good at coloring. It's so fun to watch him.
Oh yeah, he is. Last night, I've been trying to get him to work on things that aren't just like on his tablet. Like he likes to play games or whatever on his tablet or watch videos, and I feel like I just don't want him on that very often. And so we were doing a do-it-yourself racetrack. We just cut up a cardboard box, and I gave him and his sister some markers and whatnot to kind of draw their own racetrack. And so that lasted, for probably a good hour. They were pretty entertained.
Until he starts yelling at Arya, "Don't color on the road!"
Yeah, he's like, "You're not coloring in the right area." I'm like, "It's okay. Maybe it's a roadblock." All right, so now I'm going to go in with my lighter hue and just in like little circular motions. And I'm going to just kind of pull that darker pigment out and blend. And then just kind of keep in mind too that with alcohol markers, it does like lighten up after it dries a little bit. So don't like freak out if it's looking a little bit dark in areas. It'll all kind of soak into the paper and smooth out a little bit. All my Copics I feel like are like dry too.
They look like they're drying up a little.
Yeah, they are. I need to get like refills and just kind of spruce them up a little bit. I really don't use them that often, but I've been seeing that I have been using them lately.
I didn't know you can refill them.
Yep, they refill. Actually, some of these don't. Like the Copic Chow, I don't know if these ones do. But like the Sketch and stuff, they do. All right.
You missed inside his ear.
That's pink.
Oh.
Mind your own business. All right, so you just kind of repeat the process until you are happy with it.
Dana says they all refill. Yep, and Julissa says you can refill the... Was it Chow's?
Oh, somebody told me that they didn't. I wonder where I got that information. Disregard. Who knows where I got that, you guys?
Jesse says stay in your lane, buddy.
Yeah, right. Watch your own bobber. All right, I'm going to grab a pink. This is just RV42 for his little pink ear. Because it's pink.
Sorry.
And then I'm going to color the butterflies the same kind of pink color, so it's like cohesive.
Just color them ear pink, huh?
Yep, they're ear pink. Right before we went live, Nick was making fun of me about like things that I say during live or like my tone of voice, and so there was like 2-minute countdown to go, and I was like, you know what, you got this, like, see ya, just walk out. So rude.
You gotta admit it was a little funny.
It was not that funny. All right, so we're going to kind of put this sentiment banner right down here, and we're going to use it to ground the image. Because right now, Eeyore just kind of looks like he's floating on a little notebook piece of paper. So we're going to make it look like he's not floating on a notebook piece of paper.
Ooh, Sherry got some Karen markers.
Ooh, I love them. They're my favorite. I hope that you love them as much as I do. All right, so I'm just taking a little bit of foam tape here, and we're going to pop up this thank you banner. I love the font that Lisa Arana picked too. It just looks like a Eeyore font. Doesn't it?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to kind of put this, leaving like a little bit of space below his butt because we're going to do like a little ribbon. So I'm just putting that there. We're going to flip it around. Cut that off. Okay. So now I am like seriously loving, oh, I lost my ribbon. Oh no, I found it. I am seriously loving the May Arts burlap ribbon that we have in our shop. We have it in several colors, but today I'm using ivory and natural, and I think there's black and sage and pink and red. Oh, pink would be really cute here, actually. I'm going to do a pink, I think, because I have one that I did. Then you guys can see what the pink looks like. Okay, so switching gears. Oh, that is darling. That's just darling. All right. So we're just wrapping this around a few times right above our sentiment banner. And we'll tie this in a bow. The thing I like about this ribbon too is it's easy to get like a cute bow. Like some ribbons, it is really hard to get a cute bow, but this one, it's not. If you guys have ever fiddled around with bows, you know what I mean. And you've used this. It is a great one. All right, so I'm just kind of messing with my bow a little bit. I want the ears a little bit smaller, I think. Perfect. Just cut these. And then we're going to pop this up on a craft panel here. I'm like obsessed with foam tape. So you guys can do whatever you want for the usage or the amount. And I never like to cover up the like ribbon area because otherwise it gets like a little popped up, like a little bump. And so I always just kind of cut a smaller piece to put on the bottom and then just kind of fill in, if that makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I don't know. All right, got our foam tape. Perfect, popping that up. Ooh, I'm loving the pink with it. I can't wait to show you guys the difference between the pink and the other color, because they both turned out so fun and cute. All right, we're gonna pop this, or put this on a white card base. I just think the combination of craft and white is just like a classic, kind of cute combination. All right. Come on.
Do we carry that in the shop?
We do not. I actually, we don't have really any flat adhesive like this in the shop right now because we only carry like our very favorite things, and we're kind of on the hunt for a new adhesive that like we love and want in our shop. I actually really do like this. and wouldn't mind getting it in the shop. It's just like terrible tape, and I think it's from Thermoweb, so I do really enjoy this. All right, so there is the finished card. So cute. You can finish it off with like a little embellishment. I have these cute little hearts that we could put there. But I love how this one turned out. Just a super simple way to use that sentiment to kind of ground that image so it's not like floating out into space. And just a fun layout to try. I know, really simple stuff, but it is fun. So Ungloomy Day is the cute little Eeyore. I love this. And then that fun background texture is from Small Details background stamp. And then, of course, cannot forget this awesome nesting die set. This is called Scallops and Rectangles Nesting Die Set. It is absolutely awesome. I'm using it on pretty much every card I'm seeing. I just love it. All right, so I want to share with you guys one more card. This is going to be, I don't know if you guys have been on Instagram or Facebook or even across blog posts. So many people are doing cards for Ukraine. And so what it is, it's just kind of sharing a little bit of love and hope and beauty with the people of Ukraine. So we're not physically sending these cards to them, but it's just something to, raise awareness and just spread a little bit of joy during really crappy times. So, and Ukraine's been like on my mind a lot, and so I just really felt compelled to create this card with the blue and the yellow and the sunflowers, because the sunflowers, that's their national flower, and blue and the yellow is their flag. So Sanhaya Iyer, one of our artists, she created this amazing floral cluster here. It's called Peace, and this is available digitally as well. So if you want the digital version, you can do that, as well as the physical. 100% of the proceeds of the digital stamp are gonna go to charity to benefit the people of Ukraine. Otherwise, 5% of all other sales from our physical products will go there. But I absolutely love this, and I don't even think she's accepting commissions on this piece of art because she wants it all to go to the right place. So I thought that was really, really awesome of her, and it's just a gorgeous stamp. So we're going to do kind of just a fun partial stamp effect that kind of leaves room for our sentiment and just have some fun. So for this one,
when we first put that one together, it was about half that size.
I love the size.
It was so small, and then Sanhaya was like, "Oh, we got to make it bigger." So. Yes.
All right, so we're gonna do a white A2 card base. I again die cut out with my scallop and rectangles die in craft cardstock, and then this is watercolor paper. I'm using Canson XL watercolor paper to stamp our image on. And this is just like a very simple way to kind of get a partial stamp look using huge stamps, because this is a huge stamp. It doesn't even really fit on this whole panel. So we are going to kind of manipulate it and do a little bit of masking so we can get a different look.
Will you center under the camera a little bit?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Is that good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit of masking tape and just lining it up on my Misty, seeing that I like it. All right, and then I'm going to take my stamp and kind of position where I would like it. And I know I want it kind of off to the side, so we'll do that. And then I'm using a watercolor friendly ink. For me, it's VersaFine Claire Nocturne. I'm just inking this up. Sorry about the sniffles. I've been sick for over a month. No, it is not COVID. I had COVID in the end of January, and I've been sick ever since, so I don't know. All right, just getting this nice and inked up. Love it. All right, we're gonna pull this out. And I'm gonna pull this off too, because otherwise if I leave the tape on there, I know I'm gonna smear it. I just know I will. All right, so now we're going to create a line down here to kind of like stop our image. So I'm just using a little ruler, and then I have a very thin Sharpie marker. And we're just gonna kind of create a line. I'm doing a little bit past the image, like that. So that is kind of fun. I'm gonna grab my Misty again, and we're gonna stamp our sentiment right below that line. And I'm using a sentiment from Ungloomy Day, that Eeyore set. It has some really awesome ones in here. It says, "Hope moves us forward," and I thought that was perfect for a card for Ukraine. All right, just centering that. Stamping it down. How cute is that? All right, so we have everything all stamped, our whole panel. This is a really fun technique to try with any of your huge stamps, just to get a different look with it. Just partial stamp it, mask it off so you get different sections. It looks completely different than, you know, the regular stamp, just stamped down. It's kind of a fun way to get just different looks. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of watercoloring on this. I'm gonna keep it kind of traditional with like the theme of sunflowers. And so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of orange and yellow. So I'm using my Karen Pro brush markers. These are water-based markers, and I like to use them for watercoloring. And then I'm just gonna blend out with a little water brush here. And yes. All right, so we're gonna start by placing the orange down first. And so I'm just doing a little bit of orange kind of down at the bottom of the petals where it would be darkest. So you can go in sections, you can do one petal at a time if you wanted. These markers do blend out pretty well, so I can pretty much place all my pigment at once and then come back and it'll all blend out. But if you're using sometimes like zig markers, I feel like you do need to move a little bit quicker with them. So maybe, you know, test it out and see what works for you. Right. Making sure I got all my petals here. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and blend that out. I know on the camera it looks like Hunter orange, but it's not. It is not in real life. So I'm just taking a wet brush and pulling that pigment up to the top of each petal.
I'm always so amazed by how well that blends, those markers.
Yeah, they really, really do. And you don't need much water either. It's much easier to just kind of go in with a little bit of water, and you can always add more.
Ooh, the artist of this stamp is here.
Sandhaya, hello. I absolutely love this stamp. She is amazing. All of her whole line of stamps with us is just fantastic.
Echo's here. Hi, Echo.
Hello, Echo. Now I'm nervous. Like all these, like all of you guys are such great crafters.
Nicole on YouTube says, so cute.
I'm so glad that you are liking this. If you try this kind of partial stamp technique, I would love to see it. Share it with me over on the Unity Show and Tell page. It's always so awesome to see your take on these live videos and techniques that we share. All right, so now I'm going in with a yellow. It's actually called like gold, and I'm just placing this pigment at the very tips of our florals here.
Are you using your usual paper?
Yes, I'm using Hanson XL watercolor paper. I pretty much always use this kind of watercolor paper.
Leah says lots of the DT here today.
Yeah. You guys are making me nervous. All right. So now I'm going to go in and blend out this yellow, and we're going to go from the tip down. So kind of just blending it with that orange so we get kind of a fun orangey yellow sunflower color. You could just simply do yellow too, but I don't know, the orange was calling me. It kind of ends up being like fallish looking, but that's one of my favorite seasons of all.
Can you tell about the pens you were using again?
Sure. So the markers that I'm using are called Karen brush markers. They're a water-based marker, and this is mainly what I use when I do watercoloring. I don't really use like watercolor, like a pan of watercolors by any means. I'm always using something like this. I just find like for me, they're easier to blend out. All right, so we got that. I'm just kind of looking at my image to see what's going on here. What's what? So we have a flower down here that I'm just gonna kind of simply watercolor. There's not a whole lot, so we'll keep it simple. All right, we're gonna go in and do the center now. So I'm gonna grab just a brown color in the center.
Oh, Echo mentioned she hates the time change.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can't even, you guys.
We were
Like,
talking about that yesterday. It's
just to explain to your kid too, like, why is it light out? You know, when they go to sleep. And I swear Everett was up in our room like probably 6-7 times last night.
He kept coming up and saying, thinking it's morning. It's like he'd fall asleep for a second, wake up, and then he's so silly.
Yeah, and just like, even when they're little too, like they're crabby because like their sleep schedule's off, and I tell ya.
What can you do?
So I'm just blending out this green for the leaves. So I'm always kind of just dropping the pigment where it would be darkest and then kind of blending out from there. Sorry, in these little detailed areas, it's hard to like talk and like concentrate on what I'm trying to do at the same time.
Yeah, this is a really nice image to color. Like there's big spots, but a lot of detail, so you can really color it. And
it's a great size for coloring, for sure. So there's like a bunch of like little leaves in here too that I'm just going to just apply the pigment directly. I'm not going to blend it out with water. Right, we got some little berries over here. I want those to be orange. Thought that would be kind of fun.
Carol's waiting for this set. It's all hands on deck right now, so
Yes, it is.
it'll ship real soon, maybe even tomorrow.
All right. So there is that all done. So I am going to just take my heat tool and speed dry this so we can do a little bit of ink blending around it. So now I'm going to take a fun blue color. This is powder blue in Gina K Designs ink and my little blending tool. And we are going to start at this corner and just kind of blend towards our image. We won't need to mask or anything because I'm not going to go over the image. I just really want it to be blue kind of on this left side here. I'm just pulling it into the center towards our image.
So kind of a funny story, when Everett and I were in the Hobby Lobby the other day, he was pointing at some blending brushes and asking what they were, and I go, oh, those are blending brushes. And these two people in the aisle looked at me like I was an alien, like, how does this dude know what blending brushes are?
That's funny. All right, so I love the little bit of blue that adds, keeping with our theme, Cards for Ukraine. And we're going to add a little bit of ribbon to this too, just because I'm just loving this ribbon today. And we're going to add that right on the line we created.
Oh, Shannon Horch mailed out several cards to local Ukrainian churches. A few used Unity images.
Oh, that's so amazing. That is great, great, great. Alright, so I'm just tying a little bow here.
Angie Blom loves your card.
Thank you so much. We used Angie Blom's amazing, well, I used Angie Blom's amazing sunflowers that she created for this release as well. I used those last week in a video. Some fun, like, no coloring cards. Alright, I'm just trying to shift my bow a little bit because I want it more off to the side. I'm going to go just slightly above that little line. And we're going to cut off our tails. And we'll pop this up as well. If you're looking for like a thick foam tape like this, I get this off of Amazon. It is my favorite for when I'm doing like full card bases like this. I like it to be like solid, and this is just great for that.
Do you know what it's called so they can look it up?
It's like 3M foam tape, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so pop this up. Again, I always just kind of leave a little space for my ribbon to live in. Otherwise, it's just a little bump on there, and it's just one of my like little nitpicky things. I probably would never notice it if somebody sent me a card like that, but if I'm sending a card to somebody, I notice all the ways that I think it's wrong. Alright, we're going to put this on a white card base with just some flat adhesive. So if you guys have not gotten these amazing sets yet, the sale does end tonight at 11:59 p.m. So get your orders in. There's some really great freebie incentives for shopping with us, like thousands of sets marked down, and of course these new arrivals, and 5% of all of our sales are going to be going to charity to help the people of Ukraine. So absolutely love that. All right, so in my stash, I actually found something kind of fun. Where did I put them? I found these like little glass beads, and I just adhered those right on top, so it almost looks like water droplets behind there. But every time, you know, you do this, it's going to turn out a little bit different with the partial stamping. I love both. I think they're really, really fun. And, oh, here are my little dots. So this is what they are. They're just like little clear glass dots. And I just glue them right down on the card.
Where'd you find those?
They actually were in some stuff that Jolande had left here.
Oh.
So, yeah. So here are the sunflower cards. Absolutely love it. And then if you missed this one, I created a cute little Eeyore card with our brand new sentiment set. So just a couple of really simple ways to use your sentiment to ground your image and do a little bit of a fun and simple layout to try out. So that's what I have for today. That's all
Linda,
I
your
have.
order will ship real soon. We're working really hard to get these out.
Yes, so right after this, Nick and I are going to go to the back. We're going to help
Mhm.
everybody get these out into your hands. I apologize for the delay. We have had just a really tough time getting the materials to manufacture stamps to us in a timely manner, mostly because of like trucker shortages and employee shortages for those transportation companies. So just bear with us. We have everything we need right now, and we're all going to be putting in some extra hours this week to get these out to you. We're going to be caught up in no time, so you can order with confidence. That it is going to be in your hands very, very soon, and I'm so excited to see what you all create with these stamp sets. All right, I suppose with that, we better get to the back and start making some stamps and sending out some orders. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and for your support of our little family-owned and operated business. We truly appreciate you. Bye, everybody.